Buffalo, New York, the second largest city in the state of New York, the city of good neighbors, home of the chicken wing, the Bills, and of course, the best people. But what if I told you that everything we know and love is in jeopardy? Climate change is happening, and it's impacting even our beloved city. Buffalo is one of a narrow band of northern U.S. cities that is best positioned to withstand climate change. But don't put your guard down just yet. That hardly means we are safe from any changes at all. What this means is that we are quickly becoming a haven for those escaping from the impacts of climate change in their own communities, such as flooding, wildfires, and hurricanes. Did y'all know this was happening? Maybe you've noticed rising prices in the housing market or changing snow patterns with each passing year. This is just the beginning. Climate displacement is right at our doorstep, and climate change is impacting us right now. So what are we doing to counteract this? How are we preparing for the impacts of climate change in our own homes? You may have heard of the term just transition. Might sound a little wonky, but we believe our current economic system is destroying our planet, and we need to transition away from that. This is where the work of NYRenews comes in. I know what you're probably thinking. Well, who in the world is NYRenews? NYRenews is a coalition of over 300 environmental, justice, faith, labor, and community groups behind the nation's most progressive climate law. Don't worry, we're going over that soon. The coalition fights for good jobs and climate justice. Exactly what we need right now, right? Coalition members are right here in Western New York and span across the state. Our strength lies in the diversity of perspectives and breadth of expertise. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the next few years alone? The more the merrier in this fight. In 2019, the coalition succeeded in getting the landmark Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, or CLCPA, passed at the state level. The CLCPA provides goals that will transform the way we live, learn, and work in New York. Those goals are 1. Invest directly in communities on the front lines of the climate crisis, which are the poor and working class communities and communities of color. 2. Achieve 100% zero-emission electricity by 2040. And 3. Reduce emissions by at least 85% by 2050. This would bring us back down below 1990 levels. Y'all remember the 90s, right? Who knew the only thing we needed for time travel is dope legislation? These massive changes to our infrastructure and current systems require a vast amount of resources, aka, who's paying for all this? This brings us to our current moment. Winning the passage of the CLCPA was only one step towards a just transition for all in New York State. Our next step is to fund our work, and that will be achieved through what's known as the Climate and Community Investment Act, or CCIA, not to be confused with the CIA. The CCIA outlines a way to raise up to $15 billion per year from corporate polluters to create good green jobs, invest in frontline communities, and build a renewable economy for New York State. That's right, billion with a B. How can this be done, you may ask? Well, not by winning the lottery. Here's the breakdown. The Climate and Community Investment Act would make fossil fuel companies pay for the damage they're doing to our environment, our communities, and our health by instituting a fee on greenhouse gases and coal pollutants. The fee would largely be paid by the companies importing fossil fuels into New York State. We don't want that stuff here. The CCIA would raise around $15 billion per year over the first 10 years through this initiative. Money in the bank, y'all. So where is this money going? 1/3 of the funds raised will go to frontline community-based organizations for local programs like community-owned solar, making homes, apartments, and schools more energy efficient, and updating our infrastructure systems for the new, clean, green world we're living in. Another third of the money will go to large-scale investments, such as major solar arrays, offshore wind, grid stability, electric vehicle infrastructure, improvements to public housing, and public transit. The final third of the money raised will be used to provide direct assistance to low and moderate-income families via transit vouchers, weatherization or heat credits, or direct cash payments. Aside from direct funding, the CCIA would ensure good green jobs in our communities. People in frontline communities, formerly incarcerated New Yorkers, women in non-traditional trades, and people coming off of unemployment will be prioritized for jobs building our renewable economy. Passing the CCIA would help us to guarantee the just transition for all in New York State. I'm sure by now you're fired up about all that can be achieved through this, but we're not there yet. We need you to help us get the Climate and Community Investment Act passed in order for these plans to kick into gear. NYRenews is mobilizing this month to make sure our state representatives, including Buffalo's own Governor Kathy Hochul, know that the people of New York need the CCIA passed. We are circling the wagons for climate change here in Buffalo, and we hope you'll join us. You can start by joining us on Sunday, November 14th to watch the Bills game and make posters for our Protect This House tailgate party the following Sunday. No arts degree or even experience needed. Come enjoy the game, talk to others about the work being done, and help us prepare. The next thing you can do is join us on Sunday, November 21st for our Protect This House tailgate party, where we will be joining our fellow Bills fans outside Highmark Stadium to gather signatures in support of the CCIA and make it known to Governor Hochul especially that Bills fans want her and our state representatives to protect this house, our natural environment, our people, and our beloved cultural and sports tradition, including smashing tables on Sundays. We're rooting for a Bills win, a City of Buffalo win, and a statewide win for the future of our region and our city. Join us this November.